Hi, it's Alaska Granny. Have you ever read Gone with the Wind by Margaret Mitchell, or perhaps you've seen the movie? If so, think about Scarlett OHara as a woman who had this survival mentality, and there's a lot about her to admire when you think about the things that we perceive we're going through today. When you compare what they were going through in this Civil War era, we are not suffering at all. And the thing that many people do not realize is at the very beginning it says, Scarlett OHara was not beautiful, but men seldom realized it when caught by her charm. That she had many, many qualities that people could admire, and some things they did not admire. But think back even to her life as a child. She was taught to be helpless. She was taught to be dependent. She was taught to say, yes, sir, no, sir, yes, ma'am, because that was the way women were taught in that era. And yet, in spite of all of the times that her mother and her mammy tried to get her to behave, she had a very strong streak of independence. And she was turbulent, she was willful, she was lusty, she enjoyed garnering the attention of all of the beaux in the county. But then as her life progressed, she went through lots and lots of suffering. She was a widow. She, if you actually read the book, she had more children than she did in the movie, and she was a widow at 17 with a baby. And she still went on, and in spite of all the things and the hardships and trials and tribulations in her life, and she became a successful businesswoman. She built her family's plantation and saved it. She had a passion for life, and the authors described her as elemental as fire and wind and wild things. So that's quite a character that is someone we could all admire when you think about it. So she became she transformed herself throughout her life and throughout the book from the spoiled, wealthy young girl into a very successful woman from the old South, when women did have everything going for them, into the after the war, to the new South, which was hardship and rebuilding and trying to work things. In fact, if you think about it, she not only married men that she never loved, but she also killed a man and was able to have the strength of character to do what it took, no matter what. And I like the words of the author when she says, a frost lay over all of her emotions, and she thought she would never feel anything warmly again. And the thing that she used to always say is, this can't be real, it can't be. I mustn't think of it now. I can't think now. I'll think later when I can stand it. And so when you think about the gumption that Scarlett OHara had, perhaps these are maybe not some of the activities she did, but the strength of character that she exhibited is something we might want to consider as survivalists and preppers and people who want to make sure that no matter what hardships come our way, we can face them. And the thing that I would like you to remember from this story is that she had instinct stronger than reason, knowledge born of experience, that defeat is an impossibility. Her burdens were her own, and burdens were for shoulders strong enough to bear them. So if you're looking for a book about courage, survival, preparedness, and someone who can get through things no matter what, look at Gone with the Wind through the eyes of, what did Scarlett OHara go through? And compared to that, I'm really not going through anything. And so I can do it too. And that's one of the things that's important for us to realize as our world becomes more dangerous, scary, and uncertain, is that we have the strength within us to do the same things that other characters have gone before us. So leave me a comment about characters that you find inspirational, and subscribe to the Alaska Granny channel. Have a wonderful day.